And I think I'll go ahead and edit that dimension. And so I'll just double click on it. And this dimension needs to be 2.12. Okay. And you can see that now my sketch isn't what you would expect it to be. Okay. Um, and sometimes that happens. And probably the easiest thing to do is just click undo. Okay. And let's dimension this other dimension that we're already given. And let's see if that helps. Let me place that dimension, and then I'll type in 0.75. And now let me see if I can edit this to 2.12. Okay, and now you can see that it is as it should be. Now, I said a goal of ours should always be to fully constrain the sketch, and it says that there is one dimension needed to fully constrain the sketch. And the way that we can fully constrain this sketch, in other words, um, if it's fully constrained, it won't move except by changing the dimensions. We could click on the dimension button, click this line here, and then the center point of the drawing, and just change this value to 0. Okay. So now the top edge of the sketch is in line with the center point of the drawing, and now it's fully constrained. So that should always be a goal of yours when you're creating these sketches. So let me select Finish Sketch, and now I can just revolve it. Okay, so let me use the revolve command. If as soon as you click the revolve command, you should see a pink area here, which indicates that the sketch is enclosed. If you don't see that, then that means that there is a gap somewhere in your sketch. Okay, and unfortunately, um, uh, that's not an easy thing to fix. Sometimes it's easier just to quickly redo the sketch, especially when you're dealing with something this simple. Okay, so so the profile is already selected. Okay, we just need to select the axis for rotation. So I'll click on the axis button and click on that axis, and you can see that I get this preview of what the object should look like, which is exactly what it should look like. So I'll click OK. So now we're done with our first sketch. And so let's work on placing the holes in the object. Now this is something that takes a little getting used to as well. Well, the first part's easy. Maybe I should back up a little bit. Let me select Create 2D Sketch, and I'll select this plane as my next sketch. Okay. Now, there's several different ways to do this, but I think the easier way to do this when you're working with multiple holes like this, and you have them lined up on the axes, basically. You can see that there's a hole located here. The center point lies through this y-axis, and then you have holes that are lined up on the x-axis. So the way I'm about to show you is probably one of the easier ways to do this next part. So I want to start off by creating a circle, and I will just pull it out to the middle there, and then I need to dimension it. So this dimension needs to be 4.24. Okay, so we should be able to snap to the top of the circle there. Okay, you can tell it does want to snap right there. Just to be sure, though, it's always good to create an intersection point. So I'm going to draw a line from the center of the drawing up through the object. Okay, and then I will create a circle right here. And it's hard to see in Inventor, but there is a little cross or X there that indicates that this is an intersection. Okay, so this is where I want the center of my circle, and I'll just pull the circle out, and then I will dimension it. Okay, the dimension for the circle needs to be 5. Actually, it should be 0.5. That's a typo in the book. So 0.5. And now let me select Finish Sketch. Okay. We'll use Extrude, and I will select the inside of the circle, and then I want to select Cut, and then my extent should be all, and then OK. All right. By the way, there is also a hole tool that is also easy to use that we'll use later on. But since this is a non-threaded hole, using a regular circle and extruding the hole is acceptable. Okay. So now that I've created one of the holes, I can use the circular pattern to create the other three. So let me select circular, and I want to select the hole as the feature, so I just can click anywhere in that hole. The rotation axis, if you've created it like I've created mine, you can select the z-axis as your axis of rotation, and there are a total of 4 of these holes. And once you've done that, you can just click OK, and it creates the other 3 holes, just like that. Okay. So you'll notice that this part has some fillets and rounds. Now, as far as AutoCAD goes, you use the fillet command to create a fillet or a round. But by definition, a round is on the outside of an object. A fillet is on the inside. Okay, so this is a fillet. This is a round. Okay, they're on the outside of the curve. These are inside curves, basically. Okay. And I know in AutoCAD and Inventor use the fillet tool for both, but just wanted to remind you of the definition. So let's use the 3D fillet in Inventor. It's on the Modify panel. The radius should be 0.12, so I'll just click here and type 0.12. And the select mode edge is fine. Okay, so I'll just go around and click on the appropriate edges, and when I select the appropriate edges, just select OK, and you can see that the 3D fillets were created for me as shown in the text. Okay, so pretty easy part of construction. A little bit of laying things out ahead of time, but let me go ahead and save the part, and I'm just going to save mine to my desktop. You save yours wherever you think is necessary. So I'll call it 7.5. And now that we've completed that, I want to create the detail sheet. So I want to go to New, and I want to use an English, the same as the part. I want to use an English IDW, or a drawing file. So I'll double click on ANSI inch.idw, and that'll bring us into a detail sheet that we can work with. Now this is one of the most fantastic parts of Inventor to me, is the ability to do this. And so what we want to do is we want to actually place a view. Okay, so I want to go to my base view, so I'll click on base, and you want to locate, if you don't see it already, you want to find the part that you want to place. Okay, now mine is automatic. And yours probably will be too if this is the only part that you have open. But look for the part that we just saved, and you want it to be in this box. Okay, if you can't find it, you can always browse to it. Okay, but anyway, you see here that I have this front view of my drawing attached to my crosshairs right now, and when I find out where I want to put it, I can just left click, and it will place my base view. Okay, it creates that 2D view automatically. Now it wants to create some other views for me as well. Okay, so one of the views that that's necessary to show, to completely show the part, is the top view. Okay, so I will just click here to create the top view, to place the top view. Now I need to right click and select create. Okay, and you can see that just as nice as it can be, it creates a top view for me. And I'm not sure what that was playing through the stereo right there. But we'll go ahead and proceed. Okay, so now we have our front and top views. Okay. Since I already have those in the drawing, let me go ahead and place some center lines and center marks on these two views. Okay, so let me go to Annotate, and let's use the center line bisector tool. So I'll click on that, and I can click on this hidden line and this hidden line, and it places the center line for me automatically. I can click on this line, and it creates this